there's absolutely nothing wrong with asking for help and support. If anything, I encourage people to take that step. Even though it might not feel like it immediately, it is a sign of strength. It takes so much courage to be able to acknowledge I'm struggling and I need to reach out.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Reach for Wellness, the show where we talk about individuals' own mental health journey and how they are reaching for their own wellness. I'm your host, Vanessa, and I'm a manager here at Community Reach Center. We are located at the Community Reach Center campus, and I'm so excited to have our guest today, Mayra. Mayra is a supervisor of staff here at Community Reach Center. And Mayra, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, Mayra, okay, tell us, you're a supervisor. You've had different roles at Community Reach Center, but what have you done here at Community Reach Center and what's your current role like now?
Yeah, so I started off at Community Reach Center as an intake therapist. And then from there, I was Community Reach Center's hospital navigator, and now I am the supervisor of staff for our Ascent program.
Okay, she climbs, she moves, she's doing big things. What is the Ascent program?
So it's a program that helps clients that are struggling with their first episode of psychosis, ages 15 to 29 years old.
Wow, okay, that sounds like a very specific program to like really meet the needs of individuals who, yeah, may be experiencing that first episode of psychosis.
Right, yeah.
Okay, well that sounds really great, Mayra. So Mayra, it's a special month and we have these ribbons that we're wearing. Tell us, why are we wearing these ribbons?
We're wearing them for Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes, we are. So what is Mental Health Awareness Month all about?
It's to raise awareness about mental health. I think sometimes with mental health there's a stigma attached to it. So this month is to help people become aware of what is mental health and that it's okay to ask for help and support.
Yeah, let's really talk about that because, you know, especially in the work that we do at Community Reach Center, but also in our community, it's important to say like, hey, I need help. I'm looking for support. And some of that can, you know, through mental health prevention, through like having your own care journey to reach for your own wellness, like that's part of it. So, but how does someone know when they need to ask for help?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's really important to pay attention to yourself and be aware of how you're feeling, what kind of thoughts you're having. Our body and our mind speak to us on a daily, and it's all a matter of learning how to pay attention to those cues. How am I feeling? Am I feeling sadder than usual? Am I isolating from others? Am I not wanting to connect? Am I experiencing excessive worry? Are my thoughts more negative and they're impacting my mood? So it's about paying attention to those signs that our mind and our body are telling us.
And I love that you said our mind and our body are telling us, because I think sometimes we think, oh, like, is it maybe if you're just feeling a certain way, but our mind can be telling us messages as well that aren't as healthy. In this show, we love to ask people about their own wellness journey or how they reach for their own wellness journey. And you talked about, you know, someone may ask for help or feel like they need that through, you know, how they're feeling. But for your own self, Mayra, how do you reach for your own wellness?
Yeah, well, a big part of it, I loved connecting with nature. My happy place is the beach. I know here in Colorado we don't have beaches, but when I visit back home, I try to spend as much time at the beach as possible. And here, I also like to connect with nature. I like going for nature walks. I also enjoy spending time with family and friends. Being around people that fill my cup is so essential for me. I also enjoy getting regular facials and, you know, going into skincare as a way of also, you know, honoring myself and my needs. So yeah, those are kind of some of the ways that I've engaged in self-care in my own personal life.
I love that you said honoring my needs. Tell me more, what does it mean to honor one's needs? Like if I heard you say that and I'm like, oh, I want to honor my needs, what does that look like?
Yeah, well, it definitely is going to look different because what works for one person might not work for the next. But, you know, making sure that you're doing things to fill your cup. I truly believe that we cannot pour out to others from an empty cup. And so doing things that fulfill you, doing things that make you feel joy. And it doesn't always have to be activities, right? Like going for a walk or exercising. Self-care can also mean, honoring your boundaries, learning how to say no, being present with yourself, making sure that you're setting appropriate boundaries with the relationships you have. So it can definitely be much more than just, activities that we participate in. But yeah, it's all about knowing what's important for yourself and then taking action towards that.
Yeah. Well, it definitely sounds like it would be something that an individual need to be in tune to their own emotions, their own feelings, well, all the things that can impact how we're feeling, to really be able to say, yeah, I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to honor myself and my needs. Mm-hmm. We mentioned already that individuals, like there may be times where we may need to ask for help, and where what we're talking about sounds great. Like it would sound great to like put these boundaries, feel good. It would, yeah. But what happens when we're so overwhelmed that like, yeah, I would want to take a walk, but I feel like I can't do those things.
Yeah. First of all, that's totally valid. Sometimes we can try and engage in all of these activities and still feel like it's not doing anything, or like we're not getting better, and that's okay. And that might even be a cue that maybe we need to ask for professional help or support, and it's absolutely okay. I know that sometimes there can be a feeling of shame, when we need to ask for support, but it's actually a sign of strength. It takes a lot of strength and courage to be able to know that, I'm struggling a little bit, and I'm realizing that I can't do this on my own, and I think I might need more support. And that's absolutely okay.
Yeah, and there's different ways to ask for help. Tell me through, like, there's different levels that we can get to, from like a crisis scenario or to maybe like, I need to get some sort of support. So talk me through, how would someone know what to ask when? Or do they even need to know what to ask for when?
Yeah, of course. I think the first step would be connecting with your people, right? Whatever that might look like, whether it's friends or family or a trusted individual. Connection is absolutely important for our mental health. And sometimes when we are struggling with our mental health, instead of wanting to connect, we want to isolate. So even just reaching out for connection, texting a friend, calling a friend, or again, a family member or a trusted adult that you feel comfortable with. That could be a first step, just connecting. But also, if you feel like, I've been struggling with these feelings or these thoughts for quite a while, and I feel like I've, connected with the people in my life, and I've done all these things and it's not working out, that might be a cue that, maybe it's time to give therapy a try, and maybe I'll make some phone calls and see if I can get connected to a therapist. And again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. We're human beings, and as human beings, we can't always have it together all the time, and it's okay that sometimes we go through seasons where we need a little bit of extra support from a professional.
Yeah, and that season of needing support, like you mentioned earlier, asking for help is a sign of strength. That is someone being able to say, I'm moving forward, even if in the moment it may not feel like a strength, it may feel like I am absolutely falling apart. And when people get to that point where they feel like they need to ask for help, what I always hope for, and especially I can speak, I think you can speak to this too, that behavioral health professionals are there to create that welcoming environment and welcome into getting the help that they need. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's definitely such an important part as well. Okay, so we talked about the maybe I'm going to talk to a friend, maybe I need to seek for professional support. How about if someone feels like they're in a mental health crisis and they're like maxed out? What kind of supports are there for that person?
Yeah, help is always available. For people that are from Colorado, there's the Colorado Crisis Line. There's also the Suicide Lifeline, where you dial 988, and they're 24/7. So it doesn't matter what time of day that you feel like you're struggling. You can always reach out for support. There's also walk-in crisis centers that are open 24/7. But of course, if it's a life-threatening emergency, then you can always go to your nearest emergency room or call 911.
Yeah. Well, and it shows that there are these services available if someone were to feel like they're really needing it. And the more that we promote mental health awareness, right, we're able to tell people, it's okay to call 988 or have to sometimes need those more intense services.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
Mayra, as we wrap up and finish talking about mental health awareness, what is something about mental health awareness that is important to you?
I think education. I think sometimes we can't do something about something that we don't know. So I'm very passionate about educating people on what mental health is and reminding them that it's okay not to be okay, reminding them that, you know, again, we're human beings and it's normal and it's okay to struggle. It's okay to have seasons where we feel like we can't do this alone, and that there's absolutely nothing wrong with asking for help and support. If anything, I encourage people to take that step. Like I mentioned before, even though it might not feel like it immediately, it is a sign of strength. It takes so much courage to be able to acknowledge I'm struggling and I need to reach out. Again, there's resources available. There's therapists available that are willing to sit with you in your pain, that are willing to give you the tools that you need to be able to heal and live a fulfilling life.
Oh, I love that, Mayra, especially because life is tough.
Yeah.
And it's not just tough for individuals that are older or younger or from just different backgrounds. It's just for all. Life hits us in different ways at different times.
Yeah.
And so asking for help is so important. Well, awesome. Thank you, Mayra, so much for coming on the show. I'm excited we were able to have you today.
Thank you so much for having me.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Reach for Wellness. Today we really talked about what people may need when they need it. So I want to make sure to mention this. If you're an individual and you're needing to seek mental health services, visit our website at communityreachcenter.org. Additionally, we have a suicide crisis lifeline, like Mayra mentioned, 988. It's a national network that provides free confidential support for people in crisis. You can also contact them by calling or even texting 988. Thanks for tuning in to Reach for Wellness. We have future episodes coming out and we hope you connect with us. Give us feedback, DM us, tell us what resonated with you. Our handle is at Community Reach Center. And if you're new here, welcome. We'd love to stay connected. Please like, save, share what resonated with you, our posts, this podcast episode. I'm sure it will connect with someone and they can see how they can really feel like there is a community out there waiting to help them get connected. Thank you again for tuning in and stay tuned because we're going to have an episode coming out next month. Talk to you next time.